Well, welcome, welcome. All right. I'm glad to see you guys. Oklahoma City is always a fun place to come. Lots of smiling faces. So I always look forward to Oklahoma City. All right. We're doing back to school. So I'm sure you guys have grandkids or you know somebody that's getting ready to go back to school. So we're going to talk about some Bianni stuff today. We're going to do a little picture play with those back to school pictures where they hold up the little chalkboard with all the information. It'll be fun. And then we're going to do a scrunchie. So this will be really fun. We're going to do the scrunchie on the serger. Okay, well, Jan was talking about new products. And so why don't I share a new product with y'all that you may have seen. So how many of you guys have this book? All right, well, this book, if you don't have this book, I'll pass it around. This is mine, and it's been well loved, and so it's kind of all jaggedy. If you buy this book, you get it nice in a plastic package, and this is not the one that you'll get, but I'm gonna pass this around so you can see it. This one came out in around 2022, and we have it on sale today. It's on your coupon sheet. I don't know the exact price, but it's called Mastering Your IQ. $175. All right, so I'll pass this one around. This one is a great reference. If you're trying to learn IQ, it's great. We've got it on sale, but we have a new Mastering Your IQ collection that was just released. And so I want to share that information with you guys. And it's totally different from this book. So if you have this book, that's a great resource. If you don't have the book, you can get the book too and have double projects. So the biggest feedback that we got from that book, everybody told me they liked it, but they wanted a what? The book, like Baby Lot got so many comments. Oh, we love the book, but we would rather have a video. Like I think I heard somebody say, if people are like, that's how I learn by videos. So we spent 2 years working on this. So I'm going to show you this real quick. All right, let's pull this up. The link is a little tricky to find because it's under the website, under Baby Lock's website as a getaway. So we'll send the link out, or I'll put the link up here real big if you want to take a picture of it here in a minute. But this time, the series is it's a video series that you would purchase on the Baby Lock website. The theme for this collection is all holidays and celebrations. So there's birthdays, Hanukkah, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. And again, just like the previous book that we published, this one has them divided up by basic, which would be easy, intermediate, or advanced. So this In the Hoop oven mitt, that's my project. There's a cute little greeting card. There's some burp cloths, sun catchers. So here's the table of contents. There is 25 projects and there's 36 videos. So there's some videos that are over IQ in general. And the videos were made on the Solaris, but no matter what machine you have, you can, if it has IQ, you will be able to do this. There will be some modifications. So for example, if you have a Destiny, your projects may not be able to be the size or as large as the projects are, but you can make a simple modification and you can still enjoy the project. So when you get the link, you can actually do a sneak peek and you can look at one of the videos from the series to see how it's presented. And you can click preview projects and that will pull up that table of contents that I was just showing you. And if you decide to buy it, I do want to show you kind of the steps because it is a little different. So again, I'll put the link up there, but if you buy it, you click register for the event. Now it is $300, but that's 25 projects. So if you factor that, that's what, about $12 a class? And you get a video and a PDF handout for every single one. So if you want to just watch the video and do the project, you can. If you want to just use the handout and make the project, you can. And I'll pull up a picture of a handout so you can see what it looks like. It looks exactly like the book.
How many projects you said?
25. 25 projects, 36 videos, and it's yours forever. Okay? Yes. Yeah, so I mean, when you pose it like that, that's pretty realistic or pretty reasonable. So if you click register for event, because we have it on our part of the website where it's for getaways, And so I do want to show you just real quick. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to check out. You'll have to sign in with your Baby Lock account. So I'm going to sign in with mine. Okay.
Is there a special today on it?
Okay, there's not, because it's purchased directly through Baby Lock. Okay, so when you get it, and of course I put it in my cart yesterday, so it's like you can't buy two of them. Okay, so we'll update the cart here. And then I did want to just show you, I wanted to scroll down and just show you guys something kind of important. I'm going to go to proceed to checkout. Does anybody have a credit card I can borrow? Just kidding. All right, we'll just do an address here so I can get down here. There we go. Okay. Then down here is a really important part. So you guys, BSON, they're your store, right? Who are you going to call when you need something's wrong with your machine? Who are you going to call when you get, there you go, call D. I'm trying to think of it, whenever you got a question, you call D. So this is a partnership. So when you purchase this through Baby Lock and you pick your retailer, so you're going to pick BSON Oklahoma here, they get credit for the sale. So we would really appreciate if you show some love and pick BSON as you're checking out. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys did that. It's not going to make you do that, but please show us some love. We would really appreciate that. So, okay, let me put the website up here and I'll pull up a sample handout and then I'll move on. I'm really excited about this because I have 3 projects in this collection. And so this is one of them. This is a In the Hoop Bunny treat sack. And so, yeah, so the whole thing is made in the hoop. So you can see you get all the fabric requirements. Look at the directions. Everything that you do that you're going to have to touch is bolded. So if you're a scanner like me, I don't read directions. I just skim. I mean, it walks you through it step by step. This one is, I believe, 10 pages. So it's a lot. You don't have to print it, but if you print it, you can do that. No, you're going to build the shape. It's a treat sack. So it's like a project. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here so you can see it. So you get the information on how to make it. And then here's the information on how to stitch it out. So we give you all of that information. Okay? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're applicating on the project. I'm with you now. Okay. We're speaking the same language now. So you do get the instructions with it, and you also get the videos. So no matter how you learn, we got you covered. Yeah.
Are we able to print it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a PDF. You can print it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pull up this website. It's right here, and I'm gonna make it really big so that you guys can see it. Let's see here. Maybe I'll make it big. D, there it is. Let's see. There we go. Absolutely. It's always going to be available. And even if you don't have a current For the Love of Knowledge or SOED subscription, this will never go away. You'll have to log into your account and go to the landing page where to find it. But you'll always have access to this. You don't ever lose it. Okay? All right. I'm excited about it. I hope to see some of these projects in club. That'll be really fun. Patty and Mike and Stephanie made all the videos and presented everything, but we spent 2 years getting people to test the projects, and we really did. These projects were due 2 years ago, so I'm so excited to finally see the whole thing come together. But yeah, at the house, when you're relaxed, you can go check this website out. You can look at the table of contents. You can preview everything, and like she says, you don't have to get it today. But okay, there's that. Are we all good with the website? Okay, awesome. So let me close this out so that we can, okay. I don't know how I get so much open, D. All right, let's see here. There's the Mastering Your IQ. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. All right, I tell you what, why don't we do an IQ project? So, we're going to do, it's not IQ. I've got myself saying IQ, picture play, picture play. Yes, it does have IQ. So this is a picture play project. And if you've ever auto-digitized, or if you've ever used picture play, or if you've ever tried to turn a picture into embroidery, you may have noticed that words and letters don't auto-digitize well. And so we're gonna use picture play to make her picture, and then we're gonna make an applique in IQ Designer. So it's kind of emerging. So for this project, you will need the Radiance because we're going to use picture play on the Radiance. If you don't have the Radiance, there's softwares that do things similar to picture play. It's called Photo Stitch on Palette. I don't remember what Floriani calls it. I need to look that up. But you can do this. It's recommended you do at least an 8x8 hoop. So you really need a machine that can at least do an 8x8. But if you have software, you can, at Palette or Floriani, you can do this, or with the Radiance. So I'll pass this around. Some other supplies that you're going to need for this. You're going to need your fabric that you're going to be embroidering on. And so we used a really nice heavy cotton, quilting cotton fabric, and then ironed on some interfacing, some SF101 to give it a little bit more support. And then for stabilizer, we use 2 layers of the cutaway. This is a really dense project. So you really want to make sure that your fabric is supported, because if it's not, you're going to start to see puckering when you get to about color number 2. This is going to take about, that picture took about 4 hours to stitch out. And you don't have to sit at your machine and babysit. You can use your app and just go and change colors. So it's, even though it takes you 4 hours, you just set it up, set it and forget it, right?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
All right. And then for the applique, you need a piece of heavy felt, stiff felt. So this is just from Hobby Lobby. It's just a big piece of 79-cent felt. And I'll pass it around kind of so you can feel how the stiffness. All right, so let's do some picture play. Are we ready, Miss D? All right. Yes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch out the picture first. I'm going to show you guys how to digitize the picture. And then once we get the picture digitized, we'll talk about how you create the applique for it. That's a great question. All right. It's stiff felt. Yeah. So you can still buy it in the felt in the craft section, and it's just, it's on a, that sheet was pretty big. It was probably 9 by 11.
So it's bigger than a regular felt.
It is. Yeah. And it's just, it's stiff. It's just got a little bit more bite to it, I guess. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this one off.
Steady enough.
Awesome.
Is that gonna be?
Yeah, that'll work.
Can you guys see that screen well enough? Okay.
All right. Picture play is under, I got to make sure I don't run out of time here. Picture play is under embroidery, and it's right here. And again, this is exclusive to the Radiance. So I'm going to touch that. You can send pictures from your phone, or you can get them off your computer. So here's where the app pictures would be, and then here is where my USB is. So I've got Olivia on my USB, and I'm going to find her. So there's Miss Olivia. I'm going to click set. All right, so this is the first screen of picture play, and I'm going to use one of these 3 buttons down here. So first of all, this button right here, if I touch this, that's going to allow me to just toggle between all of the hoops, and it will make the picture as big as it can to fit in the hoop. All right? So don't go smaller than an 8x8, and the reason is because it's a lot of stitching. So if you go smaller than an 8x8, it's going to be a big old mess. So you really want to have it have enough room to make all that dense stitching. I tell you what, I'm going to do hers. Let's do hers at 10 5/8 inch. Okay. Another thing that you might want to think about when you're taking the picture is when this auto digitizes, it's going to go to 15 colors. You can always add more colors or take away, but about 15 colors is kind of the magic number. And we'll talk more about what that means. But look at all the things in the picture that are going to be taken at those 15 colors. You've got the blues and the reds in the chalkboard. You've got her face colors. You've got the brick. You've got her shoes. There's a lot of things in this picture that the software is going to be having to factor into those 15 colors. So if I really want her face to be like super, real and to have all of those colors, I'm gonna try to get as most of her face and as little of the background as I can. Okay, so as you're taking pictures or as you're picking pictures, think about that kind of thing when you're doing it. I did actually crop in on this. This picture had a whole bunch of the house and the grass, and so we did crop in a little bit. One thing that you can do is right here, I have the ability to remove the background. So if I touch that and do just, hey, help me out here, and I'm gonna do preview, it will this is, you guys remember the books from the late 90s, everything was for dummies, Windows for dummies. Yeah. I feel like this is, machine embroidery for dummies. It's just, you push a button. That looks really good, right? It is kind of weird because of the position that she's in.
She's sitting on there.
Yes, but it did a really good job of cropping around her and getting out that background. So there's some pros and cons. So first of all, I agree. I don't necessarily like it without the background because her position's weird. And the other thing you have to think about is this is pretty dense. So when you start stitching, if there's no background, you're going to get puckers like around that area. So having the background can really be beneficial. So that's why I say just try to get most of your subject in the picture and the least amount of background, so that your subject takes up more space. Does that make sense? Does it make sense when I said that? Okay. So I usually leave the background in because, especially if you're going to frame it like that, I didn't want all the puckers and stuff. But one of the things you could do is you could do quilting first. You could do some IQ quilting, and that would hold down your fabric. And then you could add the picture on top of it, and you wouldn't have to worry about, because what I'm saying is where we took the background away, there's nothing there, but there's going to be a lot of dense stitching around that. So if you're going to frame this or something, and you remove the background, that's just something to think about. You're kind of looking at me puzzled. Does it make sense?
Well, if you do quilting all over,
yeah,
then the picture's going to be on top of that.
Yes.
Stitches too.
Yes. You could quilt it first and then do your picture next. Yeah.
I think she's thinking that if it will make it more dense, if you could quilt it on top of quilting.
Yes, it will, but it'll also hold down your fabric, So, all right, I'm gonna turn that off, and I'm gonna hit return. Another thing you can do is right here in the middle, there's a little button, and let's say maybe I want to make a patch or something with Olivia. Look at that, wherever it's kind of made it to like a little oval shape. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna click OK so you can kind of see better what it looks like. It crops out everything else, and you have that. So that is kind of cool. So you could do patches, or I don't know if you could do a really small patch, but you could do bigger patches. That could be really cool. All right, I'm gonna just leave it like this. Also, you can manually resize stuff here. Like I can enlarge it proportionally, or maybe I want to distort her. So you can enlarge it here too. You have those tools. I'm gonna go on to next. All right, so right here, these are all of our filters. And so this is really fun to play with. And I will tell you that humans, there's a couple of these filters that look really good on humans. Like I really like the original one. I really like Pencil Sketch. But if you have like an animal or a different type of subject that's not human, some of these other filters are really fun to play with. But sometimes for humans, it can make them look a little weird. So play with this. If you haven't come in to just play with this, Dee would love to show it to you. I'm gonna leave the original one here for now, and I'm gonna go to next. And here's where it's thinking. It's gonna do 15 colors. I can always make more or less. And then this is gonna be my color palette here. And I know it seems like it's taken a long time because we're used to instant, but it's doing a lot of processing.
Yeah.
All right, so right now we've got it in Floriani, And it's really important that you try to stick to the thread that it suggests. So a lot of times I'll go with what I have more of in my stash. So let's say I have a lot of Isacord in my stash, okay? So I have a little bit of Floriani too. You know, I know y'all all have all kinds of brands. So I might kind of look through here and say, oh, you know what? I have that Floriani. I'm gonna pin that so that I definitely want to keep that one because I have that. Or maybe you called Be Sewing and they have this one. So you can go through there and change the colors or save the ones that you do or don't have. You can also add them here. So I can click the plus sign and I can look through either the numbers. Here, I'll start typing. I can look through numbers or I can look through the colors and it will also give me the number there as well. So I can look for numbers that I have in my stash as well. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to pick Isacord because I just want to show you how we can mix color palettes. So I've got Isacord selected, but I have these few Florianis that I've pinned. Can you see how I've pinned them? I'm going to click preview and it's going to repopulate it with Isacord, but it's going to keep those 3 Floriani ones that I asked it to. Yeah. Yes. So there we go. We've got all these Isacords. And like, let's say maybe I don't like that one. So I can touch it and click the minus button and that one goes away. I can add other ones. So maybe I want that pink. Click that. I can also increase it. Maybe let's see how it looks with 17 colors. I'm going to click preview here. Now we'll talk about colors. What it's going to do is it's going to do what's called a scatter stitch. So it's going to do some stitching and then it's going to travel. It's going to do stitches to travel where it needs to go and it's going to do some more scatter stitches. So each color is going to be done one time. So the colors are going to be layered on top of each other. So for example, this color is going to be done one time and then that color will be done one time. And I'll do a little simulator here in just a second so you can kind of see how it will stitch out. About 15 is your magic number. If you get like close to 20 or over 20, it's going to just barely do anything. It's not even going to work. It's not even going to make it worth changing the thread for. It'll just do like, you know, yeah. So anywhere between 15 to 20, just kind of depending on what your picture is. Most of the time, 15 is a good number. I'm just going to leave it at 15. All right, so I added some really weird pinks in here on this, but we're just going to roll with it because we're not actually going to stitch this out. So, Miss Amanda, I love your bracelets. She's just jingling. All right, I'm going to hit set. She's not even listening to me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and it's just telling me that once I go into embroidery mode, I won't be able to do any editing. And so that's okay. It was really easy to fix the picture. So if I go into embroidery mode and I don't like it, I can just do the whole process again. All right, so here's kind of what I was talking about. Each color is going to be done one time. So I'm going to go into embroidery here and just kind of show you. We've got 15 colors. It's going to take 113 minutes. Let's see here. I wanted to show you guys the stitch simulator. So I have to be patient because it's a lot of processing. This is a really big embroidery file. All right, so there's the stitch simulator. So you can kind of see it's already like on color 2, but you can see how it travels around and does some stitching in certain areas. All right. Put it in super fast speed. All right, hit close. And I'm going to zoom in here so that you can actually see the chalkboard. See how the letters aren't very clear? So it's not necessarily the machine or the software. It's just when you auto digitize letters, they never come out well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an applique. But before I do the applique, are there any questions about picture play? I mean, I feel like we could do a whole club on picture play. I really could stay here forever, so I have to kind of watch myself. So, and if you want to see it in palette, we can definitely do a demo on that too, on break or after club. I'd be happy to show you that because palette is just as easy. Palette is so fun. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, you're going to stitch your design out, and then you're going to leave it in the hoop. So you've got your design stitched out. leave it in the hoop, and I am going to just delete it and get it off my screen. All right, so I have my design is stitched out, it's in my hoop, and I'm going to go into IQ. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to this fern. There we go. And we're going to do image scan. An image scan is going to get get an image for us to use as a background. This will help us draw the chalkboard, and it will be in the exact place that it needs to be. So we're going to scan our hoop here. So I'm going to go to image scan, and if I had a hoop on here, I would hit scan. I don't. So I'm going to go to the USB, and I'm going to just pull up a picture of the little girl, but you're going to scan your hoop, and that's what you're going to use as your background image, okay? All right, so let me go and let me get a picture of the little girl. If you guys don't know, that's Mary's granddaughter. She's kind of famous in Tulsa, so. All right. So when you pull it up, it's not digitizing it or anything. It's just simply pulling it up as a background image. And so up here, you have some options. You can press the dark fern, and your picture will get darker. And you can push the light fern, and your picture will get lighter, or it will go away altogether. And that's just so that if the picture is distracting, you can turn it off for a minute and do what you need to do. But then maybe I need to look at it again. For this one, I'm going to need to look at it because we're going to draw a chalkboard. All right, I'm going to zoom in here, and I should say that we do plan on emailing you some information about this. So when you guys get your club email, there will be more information about this. So don't feel like you have to memorize it. All right, that's pretty good. I can see the chalkboard. So I'm going to go to my line properties here, and I'm going to get the polygon tool, and I'm going to get triple stitching, okay? So I've got those two tools, and I'm going to click OK. I love this tool. Has anybody used this particular tool before? I kind of forget about it sometimes. I don't use it a lot. Okay, all I have to do is click in the corners, and it will make the shape for me. Now, I will say you need a mouse. My finger's really fat, and even the stylus is too fat. A mouse is going to let you get exactly in that corner. Mine is not going to be perfect because I'm using my finger, but you'll see it. Okay, so when I click, I'm clicking in that corner of the chalkboard, and I didn't even get close to the chalkboard. All right, so then I'm going to click over here in this corner, and then I'm going to click down here. Can you guys see the red line? No. They can't see the red line? Let's see. Yeah? And then I'll click down here. And see that the red box is still up there. It's waiting on me to finish. And then if I click up here, can you see that red box up here? That's where I started. So when I click in there, that tells it that I'm done. So now I have this shape. And obviously, I need to be right in front of the machine, and I need a mouse. So, but we're going to roll on. That's all you have to do in IQ. That's it. There's nothing else to do. So I'm just going to go to Next, and I'm going to go to Set and OK. And this is a raw edge applique. All right, and there's your applique. To add the letters, well, before I do, are there any questions about the applique? Okay. To add the letters, I just go to Add, and I'm going to get them from my machine. Oops, I need to pick one. The ones down here at the bottom, these are micro fonts. They're smaller, and I used 503 on that chalkboard. Did use that. I'm just going to type something in here. Let's see. Let's do second grade. And then I'm going to do a space. So you can see how tiny they are. I don't even know if they can see them. So when you stitch these out, you will need a 60 weight thread. The 60 weight threads, we actually have them buy one, get one free over there on the table if you are interested. That is what we used for this one. Oops, I don't know how to spell grade. G-R-A-D. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do one line at a time. That gives me more editing. So like I sent you guys my test sample around. That was the first one I kind of stitched out. And I thought I was going to like it, but when I actually saw it on the chalkboard, I didn't like it. So yes.
Have they fixed the radiance yet, where you can do more than just one line?
Yeah, I can do more than one line here, but you won't ever be able to edit it. So if you do, what she's talking about is if I was to hit enter and do a multiple line of text, which I'll do, and I'll show you why. I'm going to click set. All right, so I'm going to kind of zoom in here so you can see. So I have a multi-line of text here. But the problem with doing that is as I'm moving my stuff around and adding stuff, if I go to edit, I do not have the ability to, like, let's say maybe I need to make it a little bit larger or smaller. I don't have the ability to edit it. So I recommend doing them one at a time so that you can move your pieces around for this project. There are other ones where I would do them all at one time. But for this one, I actually did it all at one time a couple of times. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this all at one time anymore. I'm going to do them one at a time because it's too much trouble.
We did get new ratings update today.
Yes.
Y'all did? Oh, good. I haven't been
There's an update
online.
today.
Okay. I am going to delete this and we're going to add some text here. I'll add the Olivia one. I used this one right here for Olivia. And I wanted to show you guys how to make it smaller. So you can see the box, you can see my chalkboard size. So that's very handy when you're adding your text. That's going to be way too big, right?
Sure.
So here is the whole, this is going to do individual things smaller. If I select ABC, it selects all of them, and I can make the whole thing smaller. And so I can click set, and I can move it around. I can either move it around with the editing tools, or I can move it around with my mouse or my hand. I also changed the angle of Olivia because I wanted it to kind of mirror that. So if you want to do that, you can go to rotate. 10 is too much. It might not be, but I think probably 5 is more. 5 looked a little better. And then you can kind of move it up. And then as you add more words, if Olivia is too big, you can shrink it down. That's why it's better to do them one at a time so that you can, go back and change that. So any questions about adding text? So when you digitize stuff, they always say to test it out first. Well, it's really hard to test this out because, so I left my project hooped, but I used a 5x7 and I just hooped a piece of felt and I stitched that very first chalkboard. And that was when I realized I didn't like it. So then I did another one and I was like, I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to see how it looks on the design before I put it. And so is it back here? Let me grab it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So before I committed to it, I just kind of held it up here and I was like, do I like that? I wanted to make sure that the chalkboard was the appropriate size. I wanted to make sure that, it looked okay. It wasn't too big. So I would recommend doing one to hold up here before you actually stitch it onto your project. But what I would do is once I decided I liked it, my project's already hooped. I put that big piece of felt over the whole project and I just ran all the stitching. The first one I did it with a black thread and a black bobbin because I didn't want anything showing. I didn't want any whites popping on the chalkboard. And so that was just the raw edge applique. And I have a picture. Let's pull that one up. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So, yes. So I did, I put this down and I stitched down the chalkboard. I didn't have to worry about placement or anything because I had this ginormous piece of felt and I just rolled with it. And then I just stitched the lettering, which I used white, the 60 weight. And then once everything was done, I just cut it. And I used raw edge. You don't have to worry about the felt fraying or anything. Pretty easy. But you know what? Someone at another club gave me a really great idea. So as I was holding it up here, they actually said that they liked it better as like not totally on there so that it has like some, dimension and it looks, that would be really cool. You could do it as a, I guess a patch and you could Velcro it on or glue it, just not stitch it around the edges. That'd be kind of fun. So I like that variation. But but somebody at another club also asked if everything was stitched underneath. Yes, it is. And it's not bulky. I mean, you can feel it's not bulky. So, but yes, there is all that stitching underneath there. This was really fun. Thank you. And you know what? When Mary and her daughter were really excited about it, that made me feel good. You know, when it's a real child and they see it and they're like, oh my gosh, I love it. Because, you know, when we look at our own work, we're like, oh my gosh, I would have done this differently and I would have done that. But she loved it. So, yeah. It did turn out really cute. I do. We're always so critical of our own work. Like I analyze everything. I'm like, how would I do it different next time? All right. Well, I hope that we'll see some back to school pictures. Well, you know what? We are at that point, and I don't see you guys snacking. I hope that you know that you can snack during club. You can always get up and get snacks. Yes, we are. So why don't we take 15 minutes? It's about 5 till, and let's do 2:10. Will that work? Okay. All right, let's do this. We are going to talk about backpacks. So we have this lovely backpack that Ashley made. Isn't it lovely? This is a By Annie pattern, and all of our By Annie stuff is on, no, not all of it, but most of it is on sale. So I have to always look up the name of this because I forget it. It's Got Your Back. So let's see. Yes, Got Your Back. This one's not on the sheet, but you know what? We'll do it for $11 because it should be. So this one's called Got Your Back, and it has a pocket on the front, and this pocket has a magnetic closure that's sewn on. And then it's got a zipper on the back, and inside there's more pockets.
That's wonderful.
And so we'll pass this around. A lot of the By Annie's patterns are on sale on your sheet. And if you want us to look any of those up so you can see what they look like, we can. But we have some of them back there on the back wall, and we have most of them. So we've got those. Zippers are on sale. Mesh is on sale, fold over elastic. So this is the time to get your By Annie stuff. All right, so real quick, we're just going to talk about some By Annie's tips. And I'm going to talk about zippers. So I've got a couple of By Annie's bags that I made here. This one is the Take It Easy. Is that what it's called? Take It Easy? It's the free one that you made.
Oh, okay. Is that one right over there?
I think it's called Take It Easy. Okay, so it has a very gentle zipper up here at the top. I mean, a gentle curve. So this curve is really easy, but this one has one. This is the Hot and Heavy, and it has one that's a little bit more sharp. This curve is a little bit more of a curve. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys about is I want you to not have this happen on your bags, because that bag has a curve as well. So can you see the ripple? Can you see the ripple a little bit? Yeah, I mean, it's barely there. I know. I'm still going to enjoy this bag. I know. No, nobody will ever notice it, but I don't want you guys to get a ripple. So do you? Yes.
She sees it. It's too late.
Uh-oh, our lights went out. So, and you can kind of see the ripple a little bit better if we open it. So let's talk about how not to get a ripple. So when you sew zippers on a curve, it's really a ripple, especially a curve that's very curvy. It's well, there's different curves. This is curved, but it's not. It's a subtle curve. It's gentle. This one's curvy, and there's some other ones from By Annie that are real curvy, and even Sally Tomato has some where if you're not careful, it'll ripple. So one of the things that causes the ripple is stretching your fabric when you're sewing, and you don't even realize you're doing it, but you do it. And then after everything relaxes, you get that ripple. And so one of the things that you can do, and I've started doing this when I have curves, is I will go ahead and take my zipper and you got to be careful because it's nylon and it will melt, okay? But I use a spray starch in a mister bottle, and I'll work on the back side, and I really try to give it a good press, and I try to use some steam just to kind of relax it, and I try to get that zipper as flat as possible, and I really try to I don't want to say stretch it out, but I really try to mess with it a lot before I actually go sew it on something that has a curve. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So, because a lot of times we'll just grab it out of the bag and it's not necessarily flat. It's all wavy from being folded up. So it helps if you steam it and add a little fabric starch. That'll help. And don't pull on your zipper. Don't try, because when you're making this, you want everything to be nice and straight. But if you pull on it as it's going, then when you're done, you're going to have a ripple. So it's probably happened to all of us.
Well, there's no such thing as a wavy zipper. So,
Yes.
So don't go try buying.
These so cute, because Kaylin was asking me what we were going to talk about zipper wise, and I said, well, I was going to talk about wavy zippers, and she was like, oh, I didn't know there was such a thing. I was like, you don't want a wavy zipper. Wavy zippers are bad. Okay, so we're not necessarily going to do anything more with the By Annie's, but we did want to feature, just talk about the zipper briefly and give you guys an opportunity to get some more supplies. Also, we wanted to let you know that the Quilter Select, there is more of it on the shelf. If you don't see a color that you like, all of that particular types of that brand, it's all buy one get one, not just what's in the bowl over there. All right, let's talk real quick about these hoops that we've got hanging up. So these are Durkee hoops. There's 11 in this set, and this set is on your coupon sheet, and they're 50% off. So 11 hoops in the set, and it makes it, I want to say $7.50. Is it $7.50? Okay, I think it's near the top of the sheet. These are really great. They save stabilizer. So what you do is you use sticky back stabilizer with these, and you'll cut it to size, and then you peel the stabilizer off and stick it, and then you float your item. And this makes it really easy to hoop items that are hard to hoop. So these this one that I'm holding right now is for the flatbed machine. We also have them for the multi-needle, and they're on sale for the multi-needle as well. They're 50% off. So if you're interested in that set, let us know. But I don't want to.
They're great for the multi-needles.
They are. I have stabilizer in this one, so I was just gonna take it off.
So do they work with the Solaris?
Yes. So here's how this set is specifically made for the Solaris, but it will work on the Radiance. It will also work on the Destiny and some other machines. What won't work is that largest hoop. That's the only one that wouldn't work on the Destiny. Does that make sense? But the rest of them would work. You just have to, it has to, it doesn't work because the Destiny doesn't do that filled. But here's an example. You just put the stabilizer on the back. And so, if you want to see how the multi-needle one works, the multi-needle one has this little bar, and this works with all of the hoops that come with. The bar just pops on there, just like I popped it, slid it off, and all the hoops just tighten, just like that. So the multi-needle one works slightly different.
So how do you do the stabilizer? Do you go at an angle?
So the stabilizer is, I just cut the stabilizer to the size, and then before I attached it, I peeled it apart. It uses a sticky back stabilizer. And then you just stick it on there, and then you're floating your item. So you're, whoops.
It is perfect stick. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
And it just floats. So you don't hoop the item. Did we answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just didn't know how you got the stabilizer to stick on that.
Yeah.
So how much is the multi-needle thing?
Okay, so we've got two questions here. So to get it to stick, we peeled it before. So the whole thing is peeled and stuck on there. Yes, because you're safe stabilizer because you don't have to hoop anything and have all this extra stable. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so the multi needle set, it doesn't have the hat hoop, obviously. That's one it doesn't come with. But this set over here that works with your flatbed, again, this will work with the Solaris. It'll work with the Radiance. Most of these will work with your Destiny. Okay, so
Almost any 5x7.
yes. This is the hat hoop. And again, you put your stabilizer on the back, and you will use part of your hoop. So you don't need the top part, so you'll put the top part away, and it just fits right in there.
Is that not slick?
And so here's how it works. The bill of the hat goes inside here, and this screws down and makes it nice and flat, so you're not fighting the curve of the bill. And then you've got your sticky stabilizer here, and just the front part of the hat that you're trying to embroider, you just stick it right down. We do want to show you when you use an aftermarket tool, an aftermarket hoop, you have to be careful because the foot can hit the edge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just show you. This just slides on, and I just want to show you the extra step that you have to do. Let me grab the camera. And Denise, we haven't forgot about you. Okay, let's see. So we've got Olivia here. We'll just roll with this one. So I'm going to go into embroidery mode. And right down here, do you see this little button right here? If I touch that, this will allow me, can you see that the cursor went up to that corner? So if I look over here, that's where my foot is. My foot's in that top left corner of the design. So if I hit the top right corner, it's moved up there. So let's take a look. It looks like we're safe. It's nowhere near the hoop. I can go down to the bottom. So you have to do it's called a trace. So just make sure that before you do that, before you stitch anything out, that you do that trace. Because the machine does not, our machine recognizes the baby lock hoops, but these, it doesn't know what hoop is on
That's
there.
right. I wondered if there was a program you had to buy if you were to use it, but you do that trace in that already.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the trace is just to make sure that it's not going to hit the edge. It's to make sure that whatever you're doing is in there. All right. Any questions about those Durkee hoops? And we'll get that. Can we get how many are in that multi-needle? Okay. All right. The very last thing we have for you is a scrunchie, and then we're going to do some show and tell. So you have a handout for the scrunchie. Let's move this over here. You can make the scrunchie, thank you. You can make the scrunchie on any 4-thread overlock machine. Okay, here we go. So here's what the scrunchie looks like. Let's see here. All right. So I'll pass the scrunchie around, and you can open it up. When it's fully open, you can obviously see where the seam is, okay? But when it's all scrunched, you can't see it. So I will pass this around. I'm going to throw it to you. Oh, no. All right. Okay, so what you need for this, there is a slight error on the handout. The handout says that you need a 6-inch, number 3 says you need a 6-inch by 20-inch piece of fabric. That's going to make a really wide scrunchie. You need a 3-inch by 20-inch piece of fabric. 3-inch. 3-inch by 20. So you'll need a 3-inch by 20-inch piece of fabric, and then you need some 1/4-inch elastic. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to fold your fabric wrong sides together. So your ugly sides are in the inside and your beautiful side is on the outside, okay? Fold it wrong sides together, and on each end, we're going to do a little L shape. The L shape is going to be a 1/4 inch over and 1/2 inch from the bottom, okay? So that's what makes it. So you're going to put your L shape. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Can you see my L? The L's right there? I see the L.
Somebody in that corner right there.
Yeah, there's L's.
Okay, well, okay.
There we go. So, the video there is a video on the front of your handout. There's a link to a video. So the video is about 5 or 6 minutes, and it walks through step by step how to make this. So you just go 1/4 inch in and 1/2 inch from the bottom, and that's what makes that little L shape. And did you find out how many that are in?
We're finding out.
Oh, okay. Okay,
We'll know
awesome.
in just a minute.
All right, and so what you're going to do is you're going to serge along the raw edge, okay? You're going to serge along that raw edge. And the reason we cut the L shape is, let's match this up. The reason that we cut the L shape is because when we butt these up together, we don't want all that bulk, okay? Should we turn that 180 degrees, like the thing? So for our serger, we're using 2 12-weight threads in the upper and lower looper, all right? 2 12-weight threads, and 12-weight threads are on sale today, so it would be a great time to get it. This is called Fruity. Our needle thread is normal. You know what? Yeah, I think we're running short on time, so I don't think I'm going to thread the machine. But I do want to talk about one thing when you do your machine. So normally when you do we're doing a 3-thread wide. So when you do a 3-thread wide, normally your stitch length is like between 2 and 3. Okay, that's what your guide says. So we modified it. On your handout, you'll notice that it says the stitch length is 1. So you're going to have your stitch length at about 1 or maybe a click above. And that's what you're going to use when you serge, okay? And that'll give you that. That's the only change that we're making. So you're going to do a 3-thread wide. All right. So you're going to serge it. And then, let's see here. Oh, okay. So you're going to take a 6.5 inch piece of elastic and put either use a bodkin or put a a safety pin on the end of it. So I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to get this out. To keep from losing your, oh no.
Elastic.
Yes. To keep from losing your elastic, make sure that on one end, you just do a little serge right there to hold it in place, okay? So my elastic is just serged. You can't see it? Oh, there you go. My elastic is just serged right there, okay? So on one end, the other end is just still raw, okay?
Okay, but you go back to show the notch out. That's not on these instructions.
Right, yeah. So here's the notch. So the notch is an L shape, and it is a 1/4 inch in and a 1/2 inch down. Okay? Yeah. All right. So when you start inserting your elastic, just make sure that you secure it to one end, and you don't have to serge it. You could use a sewing machine, or you could use a clip to hold it. You just need to make sure that it doesn't get lost in there. All right, so I've got this one going. I'm going to show this. I love her bracelets. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull this elastic through. Now, you're going to make sure that your scrunchie is not twisted. The first time I sewed mine together, my scrunchie was kind of all twisted like that, and it didn't look right. So make sure you kind of open it up and make sure it's not twisted. Make sure it's okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to join these edges. So let me come over here. One edge, we're going to fold this raw edge in. Okay, we're going to fold this raw edge in about a 1/4 inch, just kind of fold it in. Okay. There we go. All right, so now that I've got that folded in, I'm going to tuck. Yep, just tuck the tail inside there. I've got my little tool to stick it in there. I'm being careful that I don't lose my elastic. I can still see it there. If I need to, I could have secured my elastic or something ahead of time. There we go. Let's get this clip. Can they still see? Okay. All right, so I've got this folded. I've got that one edge tucked in. You'd go ahead and remove your safety pin. I'm not going to remove mine because I'm scared I'll lose my my tail. I'm going to cut this tail just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And we'll just stick it in here. So stick your tail in there. All right. And then you're going to take your time, and if you want, you could use glue to base this, but you're going to take your time, and your safety pin's not going to be there, okay? You just want to make sure that your elastic stays at that very end, but once you get ready to sew, I'm going to take that safety pin off. So you're just kind of tucking that other edge in there. Does that make sense? So, looks something like that, right? And then on the back, you just make sure that the back, even up those sides. If you want, you could take you could go to your machine and just kind of base that piece of elastic in place if you don't want to fiddle with it. But don't sew over the pin. I just kind of got the pin here so I don't lose my elastic. But take your time and get that the way you want it. And then you'll just take it to your sewing machine and just do yeah, it's cute. And this is it's a fun way to use that 3-thread decorative stitch on your serger.
You use a lot of scraps up too.
That is true.
Use a wave stitch on it.
Oh, yes, that would be cute. That would be very cute. The Victory is on sale today. The Victory is a really nice entry-level serger. So if you don't have a serger and you're interested in getting into the serging game, this one has a really nice threading system. So I don't know if we have time. I'll do one real quick. I'll do one just so that I can show you. So to thread this thing, you've got your guide. This one will come with a guide and it'll show you all the different ways you can thread it. But I'm gonna just thread one just kind of so I can show you how the loopers
Where am I at?
thread.
I'm making a mistake. Sorry.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to push this button in.
I'm not.
Let's see here.
I'm not with you here. Let me
You're not?
I'm sorry.
Hang on. Well, D, hang on.
I usually look at the computer, but it's over.
Okay. Why is that not clicking for me? Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Jory. Oh, my God, Jory. Okay. All right.
Let me bring that
Oh, there we
back
go.
just a little bit. A little bit
All right.
more.
I'm used to my triumph, you know? All right, here we go. So you push this all the way over here and you turn it, push your button in. There's something wrong with this one. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Our tube's closed. Can they see the tubes? I don't think they can see the tubes, but that's okay. Did you hear the click? Okay. All right. We just really wanted to show off this little air threader. So just going to thread it down through here. I'm going to turn this little lever here to the left so that it gets that lower looper. And normally on a serger, it would be very complicated to go through all of the little pathways. I love this one. So you just stick it in there and then you push that little button and it's over here and you can just leave it there. Isn't that cool? And the other one works the exact same way. It is on the price sheet. Gotta look. It should be. Yeah.
$13.99.
Yeah. Yep. Regularly $24.99. So this is a great one. We would love to sit down and show you guys more of it. It can do a lot of stitching. So a lot of different ones. Any questions about our scrunchie? All right.